Hey, so I don't know if you've done a video about it already, but I've watched a lot of your videos about consent and how men view women. I was wondering if you could do a video about your views of the phrase, not all men. I just went through a comment section on a post about that, and I noticed a lot of men feel singled out by things that shouldn't be considered an attack, and they like to respond with that as a way to end the conversation. Let's talk about it. So the answer is yes. I have done several of those videos. Probably the biggest one was my anti-misogyny podcast series that I made a couple years ago. You can YouTube that. It's all on there. Just YouTube the anti-misogyny podcast and then my name. They'll come up. Here, I can answer a little bit right now. Men say that it's all men. Men actually say it's all men more than women do. Who do you think are the first people to tell women that it's all men? Their dads, their brothers, their male friends. Men only want one thing from women. Men say that. Men can't be friends with women. Men say that. If you're wearing those kind of clothes or looking that kind of way, you should expect men to harass you. Men say that. Men stay saying it's all men. They just don't like when women say it. And men like to act like when a woman says something about men, just in general men, that they're talking about every single individual man on the planet. But men aren't fucking stupid, and they know when they're being included in some shit and when they're not. If I said men built my house, you would know I'm not talking about you if you didn't build the house. If I said men burnt my house down, you would also know that I'm not talking about you if you didn't burn the house down. So when a woman says that men are assaulting women and we need to get that to stop, just looking at that sentence, why would anyone have a problem with that? Unless you do not like women or you're one of the people doing the assaulting, you should be in agreement that men should stop doing that, right? But that's not what happened. Women spoke on assault trends, statistics, their own personal experiences, the experiences of their friends and family. Women spoke on these things and talked about these issues, and men said, well, I didn't do anything, so I don't think that this is as big of an issue as you're making it. You're lying, you're making this a bigger deal than it is. Stop talking about that. Basically, shut the fuck up. And one of the ways they try to get women to shut up is by saying it's not all men. It's supposed to be like a gotcha of if the majority of men aren't doing this, then you really have nothing to complain about. But it's not really a gotcha because one, women never claimed it was all men to begin with. Two, it doesn't matter if it's not all men. If it's enough men that the vast majority of women have experienced this shit, then that's too many men. Who gives a shit if it's all men? If I called the fire department and I said, hey, men set my house on fire, I need help. And they say, oh, well, not all men did it, so I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck how many men did it. The issue exists and needs to be fixed. Get over here. And three, it doesn't matter if it's all men or not because the system in place exists to allow men to do this and get away with it. And that system is something that all men are a part of, whether we want to be or not. Our country is living proof that it doesn't matter whether it's all men or not because our system, our society allows the men who are the problem to prosper and get away with it. We just elected a predator into office. It doesn't get more all men than that. So saying it's not all men doesn't do shit. It's just men saying, hey, shut up because I don't want to hear it because I don't want to do anything about it. And there are a lot of men who for some reason feel like they're being targeted, specifically them as an individual is being targeted when women are talking about these issues. But what they're not realizing is that they're feeling guilty, they're feeling bad on behalf of actual predators, right? The women aren't talking about them, but they're still feeling bad for the people that are being talked about. And that's not useful either. That doesn't do shit for anybody. So rather than feeling sorry for yourself because you feel individually targeted by women who do not know you exist and have not accused you of anything, maybe these dudes need to not make it about them. I don't know. Be part of the solution. Be an example of a not shitty guy. Don't allow shitty guys to prosper in your circles. Don't allow shitty guys in your circles. Anyway, that's my take on the not all men thing. I hope that answers your question. I will see you in the next video.